You are not a fan, you are the product. You believe you are watching something harmless, a match, a movie trailer, a celebrity scandal, a trending hashtag. You think you are choosing it, but the truth is far more sinister. You are not a fan, you are the product. The commodity being harvested is not your attention, it is something far deeper, far more primal, your amygdala. The amygdala is the ancient part of your brain that reacts before you think. It is the switchboard for excitement, fear, lust, thrill, rage, envy. It is pure emotion without wisdom, pure reaction without awareness. And the world you consume knows this. They do not entertain you, they stimulate your amygdala until it becomes their obedient servant. Every 60-second highlight, every breaking news, every celebrity scandal, every cricket loss, every actress trending telling you, look at her. None of this is accidental. It is engineered. Engineered to poke your amygdala, to make it twitch, to pull it by the leash. Engineered so that your biology becomes someone else's business model. The amygdala does not know the difference between real danger and a fake story, between real victory and a celebrity's victory, between real attraction and a manipulated image. So it fires and fires and fires again. And with every emotional spike, they earn. And with every emotional spike, you lose. You lose peace, you lose intelligence, you lose time, you lose yourself. A man whose amygdala is hijacked is not living, he is being lived by the world. That is what I mean when I say you're not a fan, you are the product. Your excitement is their revenue, your amygdala is their property. When you feel excited, triggered, angry, curious, obsessed, hooked by something online, someone somewhere is making money from that biological reaction. Your excitement is not yours, it is harvested. Platforms do not care about your joy, they care about your activation. When your amygdala lights up, when your nervous system jolts, when your mind says wow or no way or I need to see more, they earn. They study your biology better than you study your life. Your attention spike is their KPI, your dopamine hit is their quarterly report, your emotional swing is their stock price. They are not giving you excitement, they are extracting it. They don't show you what is meaningful, they show you what is profitable. If outrage keeps you scrolling, they show you outrage. If lust keeps you scrolling, they show you lust. If envy keeps you scrolling, they show you lifestyles you cannot have. Every problem in the world is built on the same formula. Stimulate the user, hijack the attention, monetize the reaction. Your nervous system becomes their energy source. You think you are choosing, you are not. You think you live like the content. The content likes you. It tastes your psychology. It adapts to your fears, your weaknesses, your desires. And it serves you the dish that guarantees you remain seated for another hour. Excitement is the new slavery. People used to mine gold, now they mine attention, and the mine is your amygdala. If you feel constantly excited, anxious, stimulated, reactive, it is not by accident, it is by design. Your excitement fills their pockets, your numbness empties your life. Your excitement is their revenue, your silence is their death, your awareness is your freedom. That's the entire game. You are not a fan, you are a product. A fan is someone who chooses. A product is something that is sold. A fan believes he is watching out of passion. A product is watched for profit. A fan thinks he is emotionally invested. A product is emotionally manipulated. A fan thinks he is supporting a team. A product is the reason the team exists as a business. You are not a fan. You are what they monetize. Your attention is harvested, packaged and sold. What do industries sell? Sports industry doesn't sell football, cricket, tennis. Cinema doesn't sell story. Media doesn't sell information. Twitter doesn't sell tweets. Trading apps don't sell finance. They sell your attention, your emotions, your time, your nervous system, your dopamine. You are the inventory. You are not cheering for Dhoni. You are powering the machine that profits from your cheering. Your heartbreak when CSK loses. Your thrill when they win. Your hatred for RCB. Your attachment to players. None of this strengthens you, but it strengthens the industry by billions of dollars. Your emotions move the needle on their financial statements, but your life remains the same. Your bank balance remains the same. Your future remains unchanged. Because your passion is income for them, but expense for you. The fan believes I am part of something. The product doesn't realize I am the something. You think you are participating in the drama. In reality, you are the drama. Your excitement is data. Your loyalty is revenue. Your outrage is engagement. Your time is inventory. Your obsession is profit. They win when you feel. They win when you react. They win when you care. They win when you argue. They win when you click. And what do you win? A temporary high, a chemical rush, a feeling borrowed from someone else's effort, unearned emotion, which evaporates the moment the screen turns off. Why is this so brutal? Because the product cannot become free until it realizes it is the product. This is why the line hits so hard. You are not a fan, you are a product. It exposes the truth you were never meant to see. It takes the fun out of the illusion. It removes the fantasy of involvement. It cuts the puppet strings cleanly. Once you see this clearly, your emotions begin to withdraw. The attachment dissolves. The hijack stops. You regain your attention. You regain your energy. You regain yourself. You see, my friend, what I am describing is not entertainment, it is enslavement disguised as pleasure. The world has perfected this art. They call it sports, news, entertainment, social media. But the truth is, it is all a beautifully packaged distraction. You are not addicted to cricket, football, you are addicted to escape. You are addicted to noise because silence exposes you. Silence reveals the truth of your own emptiness, and that you cannot bear. So you run. You run to CSK, to IPL, to English Premier League, to Manchester United, to Manchester City, to trading news, to drama. Because in those moments, you are temporarily somebody. You become the fan, the expert, the analyst, the passionate soul who cares. It gives you a sense of identity, that you belong to something, that you matter. But the illusion is this: none of it is yours. Not the team, not the outcome, not the victory, not the loss. The only thing that is yours is your attention. And you have sold it cheap. You see, these things do not ask for your money first, they ask for your mind. Because once they have your mind, they will take your life. Understand this: the man who watches is never the man who lives. The man who cheers another man's success has abandoned his own. You can either build your life or you can consume someone else's show, but you cannot do both. And yet, do not condemn yourself. Simply see it. See it as it is. Not as good or bad, but as a trap. When you see a trap fully, you no longer wish to escape. You simply stop walking into it. So the next time you feel the pull, pause. Ask yourself, what in me is so empty that I must borrow excitement from a stranger's victory? That question, asked sincerely, will cut through every addiction. It will burn the illusion to ashes. I will tell you something that very few people ever see. The world has become a grand marketplace of attention merchants. They do not sell goods, they sell you, your mind, your focus, your emotions to the highest bidder. They know the exact chords to pull. They know that a man is addicted to stimulation the way a beggar is addicted to scraps. So they feed you trading news, breaking updates, sports analysis, exclusive leaks. They feed your restlessness, not your mind. They keep your attention spinning like a dog chasing its own tail, endlessly, pointlessly. You gain nothing, no money, no wisdom, no peace, and yet you return. Why? Because you are being played beautifully, scientifically, relentlessly. Understand this clearly. It is not the trading news that is the problem. It is not the breaking updates, sports analysis, exclusive news is the problem. It is your need for stimulation. It is your refusal to sit alone with yourself. The media, the markets, the sports, they are merely mirrors reflecting your inner poverty. They show you how desperately you crave excitement because silence terrifies you. You want to feel alive, and so you borrow life from noise. But life does not come from noise, it comes from clarity, from stillness, from the ability to see the circus and remain untouched by it. You see, the trap is not outside, it is inside. The outside merely provides the bait. Once you see this, truly see it, you will not need to force focus. Your attention will no longer be for sale. When a man understands the game ends. Professional sports saps the remaining vital energy by hijacking the emotional center of people's brain and tapping into those ancient joys of winning, fears of loss, and this sense that you are on winning team or that you have something at stake. There's nothing at stake. Like video games, sports, professional sport is a form of distraction that reduces your ability to be confident in the world, to be fit, to be strong, and it outsources all of that natural drive to a bunch of folks that you will never meet, that you don't know, that have no interest in your well being. And in effect, you are just monetizing. You are just having your eyeballs monetized and your amygdala hijacked. Professional sports like video games, gossip, and market drama is a simulation of life. It takes the real energies of courage, aggression, competition, unity, and triumph and redirects them into a meaningless manufactured arena. You see, a man was meant to fight real battles. He was meant to build, to compete, to conquer difficulty in his own existence. But when that energy has no outlet, it gets hijacked. It gets rerouted into watching others do what he was designing to do himself. That is the genius and the evil of professional entertainment. It gives the illusion of aliveness without any real life behind it. It lets you feel the emotions of victory without earning them. You cheer, you shout, you suffer, but nothing in your real life changes. The result? You are emotionally drained by something that adds no value. You experience the highs and lows of battle, but your body, your finances, your mind, they remain stagnant. You have felt the illusion of progress, so the desire to make real progress fades. That is why such distractions are not harmless. They sap the vital energy that could have been used to shape your body, your career, your mind, your destiny. They train the nervous system to live through others, to outsource passion, confidence, purpose. There is nothing at stake, but the mind believes there is. And so it spends its precious fuel on fantasies instead of reality. You see, this is how civilizations collapse, not through violence, but through entertainment. When men stop creating and begin consuming, they lose their strength. They lose the raw edge that comes from doing hard things and replace it with feeling emotions that someone else earned. True strength, true confidence, true aliveness come only from direct experience. Not from watching, not from analyzing, not from cheering, but from living. So, yes, professional sports, trading news, latest update, all of it are exquisite drugs. Not because they make you feel bad, but because they make you feel good without deserving it. And that is the most dangerous drug of all. What collapses a civilization isn't only corruption or war, it's a slow softening of the human spirit. When people's deepest drives are satisfied by imitation rather than reality, their vitality drains away. A man once felt alive by building a house with his hands, by learning a skill, by risking rejection, by protecting something he loved. Now he sits in comfort watching other men run, fight, win, lose, and his body releases the same chemicals as if he had done those things. The brain can't tell the difference, but the soul can. Little by little, this comfort numbs the instinct to struggle. Struggle is where strength is born. Without it, confidence becomes artificial, dependent on what you consume rather than what you create. And an entire society built on comfort begins to decay from within. The screen gives you emotion without consequence, victory without growth, belonging without responsibility. That's why it feels so good. But every hit of that pleasure takes away a fragment of the hunger that could have made you powerful. True aliveness comes only from friction, from doing something uncertain, difficult, real, from standing in the storm of your own life rather than watching someone else's from a safe distance. When you lift a heavy weight, when you face rejection in sales, when you run until your lungs burn, that's earned dopamine. It rewires the brain toward competence and presence. The drug of entertainment is the opposite. It's unearned emotion. It floods the body with excitement that hasn't been paid for, so there's no growth attached to it. Over time, the nervous system forgets how to generate strength from reality. It becomes dependent on fantasy for stimulation. That's the danger. A civilization that feels everything but does nothing. A generation that mistakes consumption for creation, analysis for understanding, emotion for action. So the antidote is not guilt or withdrawal, it's creation. Every moment spent building something real, your body, your craft, your wealth, your clarity, restores that raw edge that the world tries to dull. All of these sports, celebrity gossip, political outrage, sexualized media are different costumes worn by the same actor. Distraction. The world understands something the individual rarely does, that the most valuable resource on earth is human attention. Whoever controls it controls the man, and whoever controls enough men controls the world. So they offer you endless novelties, a new heroine, a new scandal, a new outrage. Each one triggers the primitive circuits in the brain, desire, fear, curiosity, and steals a drop of your life. You don't pay with money, you pay with presence. The tragedy is not that these things exist, it's that most people live entirely inside them. They wake up in someone else's story and call it staying informed. They consume the illusion of beauty instead of creating beauty in their own lives. They argue about politics instead of mastering their craft. They fantasize about intimacy while being strangers to their own hearts. The problem isn't the existence of the world's noise. The problem is identification, believing it has something to do with you. Once you see that it doesn't, the spell breaks. You can observe the circus without becoming the clown. You can scroll through the chaos as a witness, not a participant. You begin to reclaim the only real currency, your energy, your time, your mind. And when that energy is no longer wasted, it naturally flows toward things that matter. Your body, your work, your relationships, your stillness. You become what every distracted person secretly envies, someone who's rooted. When you watch something thrilling, the brain releases the same chemical it would during a real challenge: dopamine, adrenaline, serotonin. The body believes you've done something meaningful, even though you haven't moved. That's why I meant by unearned emotion. It's pleasure without participation. You didn't climb the mountain, you watched the movie. You didn't win the race, you saw a highlight reel. You didn't earn the affection, you scroll through someone else's romance. Each time this happens, the nervous system receives reward signals detached from effort. It learns that stimulation can be achieved cheaply, instantly, with no struggle. And once it learns that, real life, which is slower, harder, uncertain, begins to feel dull. So when you sit down to work, read, build, or train, the brain whispers, "Where is the rush?" Because it has been trained to expect fireworks without friction. That's why focus becomes difficult, why boredom feels unbearable, why the simple act of sitting still feels like withdrawal. Over months and years, this shapes a person. The nervous system literally forgets how to derive satisfaction from reality. It stops releasing reward chemicals for genuine effort because fantasy has hijacked the circuit. The man who once could feel alive by creating now needs constant stimulation just to feel normal. That's why it's so dangerous. Not because it's immoral, but because it's disabling. It quietly removes the link between action and reward, between discipline and joy. It replaces the deep satisfaction of earning something with a shallow buzz of consuming it. The only way back is through reconnection with effort. To reteach the body that dopamine belongs to action, not fantasy. Every time you sweat, build, write, study, or practice, you are repairing that link. You are retraining the brain to find excitement in reality again. You never worshipped Dhoni, you worshipped the feeling he gave you. Dhoni is not the problem, CSK is not the problem, RCB is not the problem. The problem is that your own life did not give you the thrill that their lives gave you. So you borrowed their victories, you outsourced your aliveness, you sat in the audience of your own existence and cheered for someone else. And the world applauds this madness. They call it fandom, loyalty, culture, but it is slavery dressed as devotion. Understand this: you do not win when Dhoni wins, you do not lose when CSK loses. Your bank account doesn't change, your body doesn't grow, your career doesn't progress, your attention doesn't sharpen. What changes? Only your chemistry, only your pulse, only your emotions, which have been hijacked by events that have nothing to do with you. You are not watching a match, you are being used by it. This is how emotional hijacking works. They give you a hero, they give you a villain, they give you a storyline. They trigger your ancient tribal circuitry. This is my team, these are my people. And suddenly your nervous system behaves as if your survival depends on their performance. Meanwhile, your real life, your goals, your hunger, your growth decays quietly. You feel involved, but you are not involved. You feel committed, but you are not committed. You feel loyal, but the loyalty is to a fiction. It is worship without reward, devotion without transformation, emotion without evolution. This is why it is so dangerous. Not because Dhoni is bad, but because you became absent from your own life. Fandom is a doorway away from yourself. It makes you feel alive without doing anything that actually gives life. But now you see it, and that seeing is everything. The moment a man sees the illusion, he is no longer a prisoner. The game loses its power. The emotions lose their grip. The worship begins to dissolve. You don't need to fight it. You don't need to ban it. Just see it clearly, ruthlessly, honestly. The moment you stop identifying with someone else's victory, you will begin to create your own. You are being monetized, your eyeballs are being monetized, and your amygdala is being hijacked. What is the amygdala? The amygdala is a small almond shaped part of your brain that controls fear, survival instincts, fight or flight reactions, emotional triggers, urgency, threat detection. It is the ancient primitive part of the brain. It evolved thousands of years before logic, reasoning, or intelligence. Its job is simple: spot danger, react instantly, keep you alive. That is the amygdala, and modern entertainment targets it like a weapon. When you see breaking news, scandals, political fights, celebrity drama, sports rivalry, stock market crashes, sexual images, suspense moments, your amygdala lights up like a fire alarm. It tells your system, this is important, this is dangerous, you must pay attention now. But here's the trick: none of it is actually important. None of it threatens your life. None of it affects your survival. Yet, your primitive brain can't tell the difference between a tiger in the jungle and CSK versus RCB last ball finish. So, the media hijacks your amygdala, your fear, excitement center, and uses it to trap your attention. Because attention is money. How they monetize you? Very simple. They trigger your amygdala. Your brain releases cortisol, adrenaline, dopamine. You get hooked. You keep watching. Advertisers pay them for your eyeballs. They get rich. You get weaker. This is the business model. You're not the customer, you are the product. Why you feel hijacked? Because you are. Literally. Your amygdala is being activated 50 times a day by trending topics, sports drama, celebrity gossips, political outrage, shocking headlines, trading volatility, sexual thumbnails. Every activation creates a subtle fight or flight buzz, and your brain becomes addicted to that thrill. That's why real work feels boring. Your nervous system is craving stimulation. You've been trained to chase emotional spikes, not real progress. This is the modern trap, but here is the good news. The moment you understand the mechanism, the spell weakens because clarity disarms manipulation. Once you see, oh, they are just hacking my amygdala to sell ads, the entire drama becomes boring. You stop taking the bait. You stop feeling involved. You stop worshipping, reacting, obsessing. You reclaim your life.